Hello and welcome back. Ataveus Cash was one of the individuals inducted into the Cardozo High School All-Met Hall of Fame. Here joining us right now is the man in the flesh, Ataveus Cash. Good to see you.
Good seeing you too, Brad.
What did it mean to you to be inducted into your high school Hall of Fame?
Oh, it was a huge honor. Not only just that, but it was a lifelong dream to be able to go into any Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. And I really feel like being a part of Cardozo's All-Met Hall of Fame dinner last night was a great accomplishment from everything that I put into being at the school, all the hard work, the sacrifice, and to really be recognized and to go into a Hall of Fame. It meant a whole lot to me.
Now, who were some of your role models growing up?
Some of my role models, I'm born and raised in Washington, D.C. Doug Williams, Gary Clark, Art Monk, just to name a few, were some of my role models. Besides, of course, guys like Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley. I was a huge fan of boxing, so Sugar Ray Leonard. Guys like that. I mean, even take it all the way back to Hulk Hogan and wrestling. So, I had a lot of guys that I looked up to as far as athletes is concerned.
And what do you remember about your athletic experience at Cardozo High School?
You know what, we talk about all the time between me and my friends and family about some of the things that we accomplished there. And some of the things as far as, being a part of the JV team, winning a championship in JV, with some of the players that I had the opportunity to play with at the school, and always being a champion. That's one of the biggest things that I can always tip my hat to. If I run across anyone, anywhere in the city, I can always say, what, I'm a champion. And we always talk about, owning certain things, and I always felt like during that time when I was in school, we owned the West. So, from basketball to football, Cardozo was #1 in those two sports. But besides that, I was also part of the choir, singing for Miss Hampton, which was our choir director there. I was a bass. I tried to be a tenor, but it just ain't work out. But no, that was a great experience by itself. Having an opportunity to be a part of the choir actually gave me an opportunity to go across seas. Our choir went to Paris, France, London. We saw the Chains Under the Guards, the Queen's Jewels. So Cardozo experience for me, man, was, it was a blessing. I learned a lot. Met some friends that I now consider family members, some coaches as well, and one of the things that we did, we always had something to strive for, which was always winning. So once we got a taste of winning, we kind of just took it from sport to sport. Whatever sport we played in, we kind of wanted to take over. My experience at Cardozo was, at that particular time as a young man, it was life changing. You're 13, 14 years old going into high school, and coming out of high school at 17, that was a great time in my life, especially athletically and academically as well. I'd always strive to have a 4.0. Just didn't get it. But I stayed around a 3.3 grade point average. I got a lot of academic awards from being there as well. Went along with my athletic awards as well. So for me, Cardozo was a great 4 years of my life, growing and developing into the young man that I was going to be taking on to college. And so for me, Cardozo was almost perfect. Leaving out of there as a senior with a Turkey Bowl championship ring. I couldn't ask for anything else, man, for a high school career. Yeah.
What do you remember about that Turkey Bowl?
Oh man, that Turkey Bowl was a really, really special game, and I talk to some of the players now every day actually, because we're like I said, we're like family, and one of the most important things we always talk about was the actual bus ride over to Eastern, and as a quarterback, I was the type of guy, and I'm still the type of person now, that I always wanted to make sure all the T's and the I's everything was crossed and dotted. So, my guys would hear me in the front seat of the bus going over to the game, and I'm just calling out names, asking guys, what you doing this play? What you doing that play? Like, it was quiet, it was still, it was focused, because one of that game meant so much to us as a team. Because not a lot of people know this, but from my freshman year all the way through school, we had never beat Anacostia, ever, in nothing. So, and that's that was a great accomplishment to not only get better as a team year in and year out and get older and just understand what it takes to win games, but to have a rival that came from the southeast side of DC, and we're uptown. Just those two itself was like, it just put that game to a whole nother stature. And for me personally, well, for me and my teammates personally, it was something that we really talked about year in, year out. I mean, that was the team that we had to beat. And we finally got it done, but we did it in a fashion that still to this day has not been duplicated or even came close to. In that game, we were up in the first half. We were feeling so good. Everything was just, this is the day for us. And those guys, they changed their uniforms like they always did that year. They came out, they had blue jerseys on. They came out with red jerseys after that. Came all the way back. They was down by 21. They went up by 6. No, they went up by 4. In the fourth quarter, they were going in to score again. And Cato June fumbled the ball on the 1-yard line and gave us an opportunity to go back down the field. And with 1 minute and 9 seconds left, we got the ball. I got the ball on the 1-yard line and went 99 yards going back. But the funny thing about it was when we got the ball back, I wish I had a microphone on me then in the huddle so that people can actually hear what was going on. I mean, there was crying, there was enthusiasm, there was excitement, everyone just was ready to go. And I tell guys all the time, that drive was the first time in my high school career that I ever just called the plays. I never went back to the sideline to ask coach for anything because we didn't have enough time and I couldn't keep running back and forth. So my teammates were like, no, just call it. Just call it. I was like, okay, look. And I started calling the plays and we went down, within like maybe 8, 9 seconds left on the clock. Threw a pass to Manuel Talbot in the right corner. Cato June swiped at the ball, but he missed. And after that, it was fantastic, man, to say the least. I still haven't seen anything or experienced anything else that made me feel that day. I feel the way I did that day.
Okay. And from Cardozo, you went on to play college football at Hampton University. What was that experience like? I know you played for the legendary Joe Taylor.
Yeah. Going to Hampton University was probably the best thing for me to do at that particular time in my career, and as being a young man at that time as well. Playing at playing at Hampton University underneath Coach Taylor was an experience that I had no idea about, because the change from DC to Hampton, the coaching style from Coach Richards to Coach Taylor was like night and day. But at the same time, it was a tremendous honor to be able to go and play for Coach Taylor. My freshman year, we came in and we won the MEAC championship. So the first year we come in, it was okay. I just won a championship. Now I go to college and I win another championship. But playing for Coach Taylor was not only eye-opening as a young man, but he taught me a lot of values and a lot of discipline that you actually need to continue on in life.
And how did you get from Hampton to the National Football League?
That was a true blessing. During my time at Hampton University, I played quarterback until my last year, where we were getting low on receivers. And, I was just really fortunate enough to be blessed enough to be able to play whatever position was needed at the time. And so I started to play receiver in the game. I started playing quarterback in one game. And actually still to this day, I'm the only person in Hampton University history that's thrown a touchdown, caught a touchdown, and ran a touchdown in the same game.
Wow.
So going from Hampton into the NFL was truly a blessing. I mean, I went through the same things that everyone else goes through, from combines to workouts to different things like that. And a recruiter came in from the Jets, and the guy asked me, says, do you like football? I said, no, I love football. He said, if you would have told me anything else, I would have got up and left. I said, well, I'm glad you understand how I feel. And, you know, from there, it was something that God really had in the makings for me to do, because I wasn't the fastest, I wasn't the strongest guy, you know, and I had the heart and the drive and the will to want to stay with the opportunity that I got, and I took full advantage of it.
And tell folks what you're doing today.
Now I'm the CEO and founder of ACLF, which is the Ataveus Cash Legacy Foundation. And with our foundation, what we do is we enforce and improve high school graduations for student athletes, particularly in sports, but we do branch out into other sports as well. And our program is called Game Time Training. Game Time Training is a skill development focus on football in particular, for all the skill positions, to come out and get trained for 2 hours every Friday night at Cardozo Senior High School from 6 to 8. And also, I'm the new vice president of the MFL League as well. So those are, thank you, I appreciate it. So those are the two things that we're doing. You know, we're focused on giving kids opportunities that they may not have any idea about or not have the avenues of getting into it. So we're giving from, you know, from the college level guys, all the way from the high school level guys, and also the Pop Warner level kids as well. And what we're doing is we're making sure that these kids understand that, you know, there are avenues for you, and we want to make sure we can produce those avenues to produce more successful young men in our areas.
And quickly, how can folks reach you?
I can be easily reached. You can email me. I'm at aclf30@gmail.com. If you want to learn more about Game Time Training, you can go to aclfgametime.com. To learn more about the foundation, you can go to the ACLF, which is THEACLF.org.
Great. It's been a pleasure having you. And thanks for coming.
Pleasure's mine. Thanks a lot, Mike.
And folks, you can come experience the MFL.